Hey, again, we're back at it. It's another episode of Bill and Tony's Excellent Adventure. That's Bill Althouse. I'm Tony Stevens. And once again, it's brought to you by Sandy's Restaurant in Blue Springs, Missouri, just east of the stadium. So if you're coming for the World Cup or you live here, you know about Sandy's if you live in Blue Springs. Also, Bobby Hines, who is the general manager here, is the founder of the You Matter movement, whose mission it is to offer compassionate support and resources to individuals facing mental health challenges and addiction. And you can find out all about them on youmattermovement.org. That is with the letter U, youmattermovement.org. I want to remind you guys, all our full podcast episodes are on YouTube and Spotify. You can hook up with us and, of course, watch the reels there and also on TikTok and Facebook. We have another special guest today. We have more royalty in this program. We've been very blessed to have many of the greats, former Kansas City Royals. Today is one of the great players of the Royals and with other organizations, but an even greater man and story.
Such a good name.
Your close friend, Jim Eisenreich, will be on the program today.
Yeah, this is going to be special.
Yeah, this is going to be really good. Let's get started. Sports hot topics, and there are a lot of them this week. Let's start with the Royals.
Yeah.
The Royals so far, so-so. I mean, but this is so typical of this ball club and this franchise. It's like we say it every year. Gosh, if we can only get off to a good start. Well, it's not a bad start, but as we record this, they're hanging around the 500 mark, and I guess if they can do that for a while. But we're seeing a lot of what we saw last year, except this year, the top of the lineup has just been non-existent, with the exception of Mike Garcia.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby's done nothing so far.
Right.
Vinny hadn't hit a home run.
Nope.
Salvia's been okay. But it's been the bottom of the lineup, the guys at the bottom that have kind of carried the first 9-10 days of the season.
Well, I attended the home opener and got a little video.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. Obviously, the energy in the stadium was electric. The fan support was incredible out there, and it was just good to get a couple runs on the board early.
Energy, obviously, from the crowd today with the sellout. It's always fun to pitch in front of a packed house. It gives you a little more adrenaline boost, especially early in the game. Overall, there was some good and some bad for me. I think early in the game, some deeper counts there, some 3-ball counts. The misses, especially on the fastballs, were a little too big early in the game, but then kind of settled in, got ahead in counts a little bit better as the game went along.
But I tell you what, man, Chris Bubik, if he's healthy. We saw a healthy Chris Bubik, but he hadn't pitched for 3 weeks prior to the home opening start. And he was nails.
He was really good.
And it reminded me of 2014, 2015, 6 solid innings from your starter, and then one scoreless inning of relief by 3 relief pitchers.
Honestly, God, Bill, I think these starters are better. I mean, 1 through 5, these guys are better. I mean, nothing against, Jeremy Guthrie and Eddie Volquez and those guys, but Waka's been nails, even Cole Reagans after the shaky first start. He threw all these guys have thrown shutout innings. It's been really good. The bullpen's been a little skeptical, but it's so far it's the same kind of formula as last year. We're not scoring any runs and we're pitching. So again, we're only just a handful of games into the season, but. We'll see how it goes. I still think these guys are going to get in. They're going to make a playoff.
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
I
think.
All right, so you're at opening day, and I heard that you did the 999 challenge. You know what that is?
No.
That's 9 hot dogs and 9 beers and 9 innings?
No.
We're one of just, 8 or 9 ball clubs that's doing it this year. Yeah. Yeah, the 999 challenge, and it's getting a lot of traction. So, all right, if you're thinking, there ain't why would the Royals promote you drinking 9 beers like that?
Yeah.
You'd be dead on your ass after 9 innings, after 2 innings for me. But no, it's like mini beers.
Okay.
9 mini beers, 9 mini dogs. What is it, $55, $60? And you can get it, I think it's in section 247 at the Double Dip Hoagies. You seen that? So,
no.
Yeah, 999 challenge.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So
my wife could do it.
Go. I was going to say you were going to take me on with that.
No.
No, yeah. So next time you're out there, make sure you do that. You were talking about the Royals game. You were out there this weekend too when the Brewers were in town, and there was the return of the Miz, and we're not talking about WWE.
Jacob Mizorowski, young man who graduated from Green Valley High School in 2020. That was the year of COVID. They canceled the spring sports season, and they already had Green Valley's name engraved on the state championship trophy.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. I spent about 20 minutes with him Saturday, and oh my God, it was just me and him. Because I didn't want to talk to him in an interview situation where other people were there because they're beat writers and they want to know next start, last start.
Well, and they were all out there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him on TV, on Fox 4 and a lot of the TV shows. Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to him about the 2020 baseball season. We talked a lot about the All-Star game.
Was he a first-round pick? He had to be, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And, I think he has 17 innings this year, 24 strikeouts, and he's 2-0. And I asked him if he missed out on not being able to pitch at Kauffman Stadium. And he said, well, I got to spend more time with my family because of the rain out on Friday night. Yeah. And he's pitching in Fenway Park this week. And he said, he said, that's all I've been thinking about.
His first start,
I was watching.
He threw a pitch. Oh, it was a spring training or a week or two ago. That was 101.9. It was like, man. Holy moly. But, last year, there was some guys didn't like it. You know the story about the All-Star game. What do you have? How many starts did he make?
4.
He made 4 or 5 starts, and they were all balls.
Yeah.
And, he got in the manager chose him to be on the rotation in the starting staff.
Yeah.
And some of the old timers
pitched a scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, I know. And some of the guys were like, "Nah, he doesn't deserve that."
There are older guys that go to the All-Star game. Past couple of years, like with George Brett, he was good, but he wasn't great. He wasn't prime George
Clayton
Brett.
Kershaw.
Exactly. Yeah, and everybody wanted to see Jacob Mizorowski.
It's an all-star game.
Last year, he beat Paul Skeens and he beat Ohtani.
That's crazy.
This kid from Green Valley freaking high school. It's awesome.
Okay, so what gets me is the kid from Green Valley and the kid that ended up playing with the Cardinals and the Angels. How do we not get these guys? How did they get by us in the draft?
We get Bubba Starling.
Yeah, and Foster Griffin.
Yeah.
It's like Foster
It's
Brooks.
tough. It's tough.
It's like whatever. But good that you got to spend some time with Miz. That's awesome.
Oh, and he's going to do a podcast.
He'll come on with us?
Yeah, he said that once it's set up through the team, because he doesn't know all the
ins and outs,
as I don't.
Oh, that'd be great when you do a Zoom call.
We'll have fun, yeah.
Good. Let's move on to the Chiefs. The news, a couple things with the Chiefs, but the one that I think maybe you guys and us, I was really stunned about the news about Rashee Rice.
I couldn't believe it.
Because the NFL has concluded its investigation into wide receiver Rashee Rice about his ex-girlfriend who accused him of years of abuse. Mm-hmm. And we thought when we heard that his days with the Chiefs are done. But what ended up happening with the league after they did their own investigation, they said there was insufficient evidence to support a finding that he violated the personal conduct policy.
I know.
Were you stunned when you heard that?
I was stunned. I thought he'd be out at least the first 6 games and
maybe
Bill,
the
season.
That's what I thought. I thought because he got 6 games for racing Lamborghinis on a Dallas interstate.
Oh, I know. You see a young man like that, and it's almost like he's just crying out for help. And I hope somebody can find the help for him, because very pleasant guy. Love talking to him after games. Yeah. Very engaging, and the guy can play.
Well, he's going to play.
Yeah.
Whether you believe what the league did or not, we're not taking any sides here. The fact of the matter is they were going to have basically one wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, that had any NFL experience on that team. Now your number one receiver's back, and it takes a little bit more pressure off when you got 2 picks in the first round.
Sure.
So we'll see. Some more Chiefs news, kinda. It relates to a former Chief and the Chiefs owner's daughter. Have you heard Gracie Hunt? The girl that's always in in publications and in the news. Gracie Hunt is gotten engaged to Trent Green's son.
I did see that. Yes,
Derek.
Yes.
Yeah. He proposed to her over the weekend, so we've got 2 big Chiefs engagements this year, in the last 6 months. So I don't know. They haven't announced the wedding date, so we got those 2 others that are going to be getting married this year. You know what I'm talking about?
I think
so. So Trent Green, really one of another really solid human being, and really one of my favorite Chiefs. I mean, he had a good career here, 2 Pro Bowls, and played on some really good offenses. So Gracie Hunt and Derek Green got engaged.
Wow.
All right, let's move on to our two of our favorite local sports teams, the Mavericks and the Comets. The Mavs, they're just a really record-breaking, unbelievable season. Continues.
2 weeks left, and they've already won the Brabham Cup, for the most wins in the league. Nobody can catch up.
And they
with them.
clinched a playoff spot, a month ago?
I mean, it's this every year. Mike Ciccone, the president and general manager, or president, and then Tad O'Had, who's the general manager and coach, they have been working, and they've got the great mix of veterans. They've got the 3 best goaltenders in the league. On that team.
One goes down, the other is just as good.
Here they go. Or if one goes up to the parent team.
Right. Yeah.
Marcus Crawford is going to become the first defenseman to win the scoring title.
That's just insane.
And this guy
crazy.
is like plus minus a 45, something like some ridiculous. He won it last year. You never see one Maverick leave the locker room. They always leave in groups of 5, 6 guys, go out and do stuff together. And what a fun group to watch, and successful. Then we got our Comets.
Well, while we're doing this, it's actually the do or die first round of the playoffs.
2 hours from the first playoff game, and they have 2 games.
First one here
on Monday night, against St. Louis, and then they play St. Louis Wednesday. This is the craziest thing of any sport league I've ever heard. You have two games. If it's tied 1-1, the entire season is figured out, is finished with a 15-minute Golden Globe, and you score a goal in that overtime, boom, you win it all. You move on. You lose.
Might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I've never heard of anything.
I mean,
like
are you
that.
serious? And so they can't use the excuse that, well, the season's long and we don't have days to play. Well, they're taking a day off between. We played the San Diego Sockers here a couple weeks ago on Saturday night. On Saturday night.
And lost.
And lost in overtime. And then we had to play in San Diego the next day. So you mean to tell me that they can't take a bus ride to St. Louis and play on Tuesday, and then if it's tied, they can determine it on Wednesday?
I know, but that's how it's always been. And
What's always been stupid?
Crazy. I know, man. I talked to players about it, and they're like, yeah, we totally agree with you. So...
You know people. And you know what? If they don't change it, I know people too.
Yeah. They don't want to hear from your people.
Yeah, that's why, Gary Jenkins, Bill Corum know him.
I know.
Well, all right. So
good luck to both teams.
Yeah, right. Couple more sports stories. The Rams receiver Puka Nacua, who's a big name in the National Football League, has entered rehab. I was really kind of taken back by this story. I didn't know that. I mean, well, none of us knew he had issues, but there was a couple of weird things that happened with him. His people say it's got nothing to do with a lawsuit filed by a woman who claimed he bit her twice and made an anti-Semitic remark. This all happened on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
So it was kind of a series of a few events that were they weren't really like over the top illegal or anything. They were just downright crazy, you know.
Well, unexpected, and I mean, this guy was the face of the NFL 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He was the offensive player of the year playing for
Yes,
the Rams.
yes.
Seemed like a great guy. Never heard anything about him. And I've done so much reading, and I haven't done research or anything, but I've read so many stories about it. And, yeah, the anti-Semitic remarks, that's crazy.
Well, then they found him passed out in his car. And on Super Bowl Sunday, he was kind of stumbling around.
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
there's something going on, and I hope he gets it taken care of.
And you know, you agree with me on this, that anybody who takes steps to address issues that need to be addressed deserves some credit.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no problem with anybody who's dealing with stuff to recognize. You really need to recognize that a problem exists.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I'm glad he's wherever he's at, and, you know, we wish him the best. Of course, this is no big secret. You know, the whole Tiger Woods thing, you know, we're talking about people that may need help.
Yes.
You know, and Tiger, this is not the first time that he's had a car accident. And well, obviously the first one is probably the reason why, you know, he's been taking opioids for a number of years. I mean, the guy's been in so much pain. Yes. But, you know, I don't know about you, but when I saw him, he didn't look like a guy that was drunk, high, or anything. When they showed him talking to the police officer, you know, he seemed, to me, he was well-spoken and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And what they found on him was a prescription bottle and 2 pills. He said that, well, because they asked him what happened, he said, well, I looked down at my phone, and the next thing you know, boom. That's exactly what he said.
That's what he said.
And, I mean, there were people making fun of the way he looked. I don't know about you, but and I have been in a car accident that rolled over, you know, you're going to look pretty distressed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what he did was not wrong, because, you know, first of all, you can't be looking at your phone when you're driving. No. And, you know, he's lucky he didn't hit whatever the hell he hit, had, you know, flush.
Oh, can you imagine?
He clipped it and rolled the vehicle. But what I did...
Or that his son wasn't with him. That's the first thing
Yeah.
And that's his ex-wife, Ellen Nordigan.
Yeah.
You know, that's been her battle cry throughout all this, is, you know, all these car incidents, and luckily the kids have never been with him.
Well, and, you know, he was on the phone. You know, the police officer said, hey, come here. He says, yeah, he was on the phone. You can hear him saying, yeah, okay. All right, good. I got you. Thanks so much. All right, bye. He asked him. He said, he didn't ask him. He just said, I was talking to the president.
Well, you know, I didn't know he dated, is it Laura Trump?
Oh, I didn't know that either. I knew he was friends with the president.
Maybe he was talking to the president.
It wouldn't shock me, and I bet the president might have told him, hey, I got a place out of the city. Get going. And by the way, no driving.
Yes.
So that's probably what happened. He said he went to rehab overseas, but whether it's true or not, I don't know. I just think he got away from here and he's just getting the hell out of here. Yeah. And, you know, all the best. This is a really strange story. You know, we've got Jim Eisenreich coming on, Major League, spent a lot of years with them in the majors, and has spent a couple of really great years. He had terrific years with the Philadelphia Phillies. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with Alex Bohm, who plays with the Phillies, good young star, and had a 3-run homer on opening day this season. And the day before he hit that 3-run homer on opening day, he filed a lawsuit against his own parents. It was filed on March 25th in Philadelphia, and he's seeking at least $3 million in damages and full court-ordered control over every financial structure tied to his name. Let's backtrack a little bit and give you the backstory. Alex Bohm went 3rd overall, first-round pick in the 2018 draft. He played in Wichita State, actually.
Oh,
so he played around here. Signing bonus, $6 million. His parents stepped in to manage it because he was, he was at Wichita State. Sure. He was still underage. 2 LLCs appeared in 2019 shortly after the money got transferred to them. They took a 10% administrative stake in both LLCs. They told their son the management was free. They told him the money was still his. 2 more LLCs came up in late 2024 tied to real estate. He alleges his parents told him that he couldn't hold property in his own name. No explanation given. So you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
They set up an Alex Boehm Foundation charity in his name, which also happened to cover his parents' personal expenses. His personal charity foundation were going to his parents. So they deny everything, but this thing is going to court. I mean, that's got to be pretty tough. First of all, to see your parents do that to you.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I've heard of it happening before,
but to not have any control. No. So another lawsuit we'll talk about. This lawsuit was just filed, and it involves a pretty well-known female referee who was in the NFL for 3 years, Robin DiLorenzo. Yep. And she is suing the National Football League for gender-based scrutiny, humiliation, open hostility, among a bunch of other things that she suffered during her 3 years in the league. She was with the league from 2022 to last year, and you've seen her. We've seen her. And it says that the lawsuit suggested that all kinds of, things that wouldn't happen to guys happen to her. She'd report to duty after being sent man-sized clothing to wear and men's clothing to wear, being told to let her ponytail show out the back of her hat.
So everyone knew where the female official was.
Yes. And then something happened. Another part of this lawsuit that's really kind of strange. She asserted that her crew chief, told then Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin one day during training camp that she should be made to sing in front of everybody, like all rookie football players do, not new officials, but football players do.
Yes.
And as a result, she said, I was, humiliated, and they were making fun of me, and it just went on and on and on. So, and she then was forced to attend an alleged training opportunity over her union's objection that no other male official had ever been sent to. So she was fired on February 18th, 2025.
Wow.
So
that sucks. I just can't believe that the NFL players have such a strong union. Evidently, the officials don't, or none of that would have happened.
Well, you know what's
I'm
going.
surprised Tomlin got involved with it. That he'd even do it.
Well, I don't think he had anything to do with it. It was just happened to be the crew chief at that game that year. I don't think Mike Tomlin. I don't think she accused him of anything. But now you know what's going on with the NFL refs. They're on strike, or and so now the NFL is looking for replacement referee. Oh God. These guys are freaking bad enough.
Oh, they're so bad.
The referee, the officiating in the NFL stinks.
Totally.
I mean, I know it's a fast
Preaching
game.
to the choir.
Why do you think, all this stuff with instant replay came into play? Yeah. I mean, and it's expanding year after year after year. Yeah. Rule changes and. Reviewing penalties and all this stuff. And now we're going to have backups? God, I don't
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where that's going. But it's not a good place. I want to talk about something that will be a really neat place.
This is awesome.
Mizzou volleyball is going to appear on the national stage this fall, and you're thinking, so what? No, it's a big deal. They're going to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the first ever outdoor volleyball match at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Wow. And it'll be in the fall, or just late summer, Sunday, September 6th. And it'll be part of the SEC Big Ten Volleyball Challenge. You remember 3 years ago in 2023 when Nebraska played at Lincoln Memorial Stadium, and there were 92,000 people there to watch volleyball. And I don't know how they're going to set up that field in Chicago, but I bet they'll match it, if not surpass it.
I tell you something somewhat related to that. Denise Craig was an innovative and very successful volleyball coach for Truman High School. And for several years, Truman and Chrisman played on the Independence Square. And
Really?
it was
How did I not know
electric.
that?
It was televised by then Metro
Metro
Sports,
Sports, yeah.
and they got enough kids around the courts that you don't hit a kill and then it's 6 blocks away
Sure.
and they have to
Yeah.
run off and get it.
Yeah.
But that's going to be fun. Wrigley Field, ooh.
That'll be a big deal, and it'll be
It will be.
national televised.
Yep.
So that'll be good. So good for the Tigers and the Cornhuskers for that. Let's move on to music and entertainment news, brought to you by Vito's Original Pizza here in Blue
buddies
Springs.
at
Our
Vito's.
buddies there at Vito's. Definitely try that place. Definitely try that place. This, again, another lawsuit, but it's from the biggest star on earth, for Taylor Swift. Just in the last couple of weeks, lawsuit filed against Taylor and UMG Recordings over the name of her latest album, Life of a Showgirl. And it all has to do with another artist whose name is Marin Wade, who brings claims of trademark infringement, false designation, unfair competition. She says that she wrote a column in the Las Vegas Weekly called Confessions of a Showgirl. And she went on to be on America's Got Talent and actually has these trademarks. And the trademark that she alleges covers live stage performances, theatrical productions, and TV, among other things. And I guess she's been performing for a number of years now, 10, 12 years now. Interesting thing about this is when Taylor applied to register Life of a Showgirl, it was declined by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
Ooh.
And the reason it was due to it being confusingly similar to another copyright phase. So, Taylor's got a couple of options: settle or fight it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Here's what I think she'll do. I think she'll settle it, and we'll never hear about it.
Well, see, I was just thinking if anybody could face a lawsuit, settle it, and
we won't hear about it.
yes, I think that's what would
She's
happen.
not going to go to court
No.
over that. I mean,
She's
first
got
of
a
all,
wedding coming up.
yeah, and first of all, the settlement will be less than what a court costs will be, and to
Absolutely.
hire the best lawyer that she can find, which she has.
Absolutely.
It's pretty interesting though.
Yep.
Because she did get turned down. But yeah, so I was going to say we'll follow it and let you know, but we probably won't know.
Yeah.
We'll probably
agree.
never hear about it.
Totally agree.
You a big fan of John Fogerty?
Love John Fogerty.
Yeah, who doesn't? And he's celebrating one of his albums with a newly remastered version of Center Field. This will be the Hall of Fame edition. It'll feature 9 original songs plus that, and Rock and Roll Girls will be on there. Oh Man Down the Road, another great song.
Oh, yeah.
Will be on there, and it'll be on vinyl, and you can pre-order it now. So that,
Pretty cool.
John Fogerty. You ever meet him?
I have. I met him once, and
Really?
he did a benefit for veterans over at Memorial Hall, and just like our guest Jim Eisenreich, the most laid back. Everybody's a friend. No ego, and makes everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah, so that'll be good. That's a good vinyl that's coming out, John Fogerty. All right, you're talking about veterans. This is what. Did you see the Army military helicopters that were flying outside Kid Rock's
Yeah, swimming pool. Yes.
swimming pool? What do they call those? Eternal pools or something? Where it just
Oh,
goes
okay,
on and on. I
eternal
forgot
pools,
What the
yeah.
hell they call
Yeah.
those things? And and there's Kid Rock waving, and these
Two
helicopters
Blackhawks.
are just out there flying. I'm thinking to myself, this isn't going to end good.
Somebody's
going
going
to
to get in trouble for this.
Well, somebody's getting in trouble for that. So a couple of days ago, somebody for the 101st Airborne Division said a review is underway and appropriate action will be taken if any violations are found. Well, Kid Rock's a friend of the president.
Oh, yeah.
So those dudes will probably get off. But,
They did get off.
Oh, they did?
Pete Hegseth came out and said, we honor
make this
our
shit up,
military
man.
heroes.
by flying over Kid Rock's.
They were doing a maneuver or some practice session out there, and I guess somehow he got a hold of them and
said, "Hey, come on
great
by."
picture. Here's Kid Rock. Hey, guys. And they were right there. So
You just can't make this stuff up, man. I mean,
you can't make up anything with Trump. It's just insane.
It's just the stupidest shit
insane.
ever. I know. It's
I know
nuts. Speaking of insane, you saw the trailer to that Spider-Man Brand New Day, right?
Yes.
That thing was released less than a month ago, and it hit 1 billion views on 4 days. Oh, my goodness.
And I'm hoping it's a good Marvel movie because the last several have just sucked.
Yeah.
None of them have been good. And when you talk about those 4 Avengers movies and Captain America and all that was prime Marvel. That was fun. Those are movies I own.
Yeah.
And these latest ones have just been bad. So I guess the Punisher's going to be in this one, and that's one of my favorite. John Bernthal plays the Punisher. So
July 31st is the
good.
release date for it. They've now given us a release date. If you got Netflix, it's going up again. It goes up like every 6 months or a year or something. Actually, this will be the second time in just over a year.
Yeah.
The cheapest plan will now cost $9, so it's going up. It's going up $1. The other premium plans are going up $2. So that expect it. When we watch sporting events that feature the Chiefs, or of course, this summer with the World Cup, they always show our landmarks. They show everything, and they always show the Western Auto sign.
Yep.
Well, that thing's been dark. So, people have been saying, so what about the Western Auto sign? I mean, is it going to be dark when the World Cup gets here? Well, they asked I guess that thing is managed by an HOA down there. And, I'm glad that where I live, the HOA it's nothing. There's no the
where
dues
we
or
live
nothing.
too,
But boy, the HOA is kind of like
Oh.
the organization's from hell.
Yeah.
If you live in a lot of places, so I guess the Western Auto Lofts HOA says it needs $100,000 of funding that the city has already pledged. But Mayor Lucas says, yeah, we've already had the money allocated, but an agreement on how to move forward remains out of reach. What the F does that mean?
No.
Remains out of reach. Bill, here's this $10, but can you reach it?
I can't quite
reach it.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'll take it back. So
when I think of downtown Kansas City, that's the first thing that I think of.
I mean, just fix it.
Exactly. Dante Hall used to live in the Lost down there.
He did live in that HOA?
Yeah. It was the year I did a book with him and spent a lot of time down there. And, he's like, what is this sign? And I was telling him, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool building.
Yeah. And it's just light the damn thing up.
I know.
They've got an agreement. The money's been out, it's budgeted, but we can't figure out how to do it.
Out of reach. That is just the strangest terminology.
That's what we'll use from now on. We can't get our money.
Absolutely.
It's out of reach.
Yes.
Okay, so we just had Easter. We had all the Easter chocolates and everything. I'm telling you, I think if I had to narrow down one of my top 3, and maybe it might be number 1, it's either Almond Joy or Kit Kat is my favorite. One of my favorite things.
Yep.
Boy, there's some thieves in Europe that must have a hell of a sweet tooth.
Heard about this,
There's
man.
Thieves stole an entire truck containing more than 12 tons of Kit Kat chocolate bars. But you're thinking, why Kit Kat? Well, these were special. Did you see what the Kit Kat? They're a special designed F1, like motor racing, F1 car-shaped Kit Kat bars. Oh, man. 414,000 of them got swiped.
Was it going to Poland or coming from Poland?
No, it was going to Poland. From Italy. I know what you're thinking. Gary Jenkins, please. I mean, so a bunch of Italians, it sounds like, or one Italian, stole, they can't find this damn truck. I mean, how big is a truck or truck? No, it's one truck, they said. I mean, how big is that damn truck if it's got 500,000 Kit Kat bars in it? And it's going up a freeway, an expressway from Italy to Poland.
Unreal.
which is, not like from Missouri to Kansas.
Well, and I hear that those Kit Kats have a code or something
They
on them,
do.
and they're tracing that. What a great PR move
There's
for
an
Kit Kat.
online tracker for those Kit Kat bars.
And they can, where'd you buy it? Because they're illegal. So
but the answer, my question is all right. So if somebody's got one of them, they're saying if you got one of those Kit Kat bars and you see, and it, what's it going to do? Beep? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm eating the damn thing.
So am I.
I'm eating it, and you can come get the paper wrapper.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're turning in the wrappers.
12
I think
tons.
Inspector Clouseau needs to get involved with this.
I swear that. But Inspector Vito or Inspector Goomba might be involved in it. But that's a lot of candy bars.
Yep.
500,000 of them gone. Just disappeared. That's just so crazy.
Now this story.
This next story. You said anything that's got to do with Trump is you can't make it up.
You can't make it up.
Let's move on to the next story that you can't make up. The Kristi Noem, who was a Homeland Security Secretary, she got let go. She got fired.
You're fired.
And this story came out that her husband, Byron Noem, frequently engaged in online what they call bimbofication, fetish content.
Tony Jr., you've got to put a picture on there because even after I saw it, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, she said, well, yeah, the family was blindsided by this. You think? I mean, you're going to marry a guy if you know he's a cross-dresser?
You're the director of Homeland Security, and you don't know that your husband is, Mr. Boobylicious or something like that?
Yeah. Was that his name? Something
like that.
His whole life was about big boobs, big butts, full lips, and no intellect. I mean, what the hell?
I know.
How did Donald Trump not know about this dude? How did she not know about this? And
I just have never been able to stand her after I found out she killed her own dog just because it wasn't working out on their ranch or something.
Oh, I didn't hear that story. Really?
Oh, dude, it's in her book.
Oh,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
No fan of Kristi Noem.
In an attempt to demonstrate that that strengthened their marriage, she pointed out that her husband had accompanied her to the Capitol and was seated just behind her when Trump let her go, but she didn't know he was wearing bra and panties. You cannot make this shit up. Oh, I got another one for you. So on April the 26th, 2025, a guy named James and his mother Linda learned that the $2 ticket that they bought at Clark's Pumpkin Shop in Georgetown, Kentucky, won them $167 million, the largest lottery prize in the state of Kentucky history. They got the check. They got the check 2 days later. The guy's name was James Farding, and
That's really his name.
And his mom's name is Linda Grizzle, and his girlfriend's name was Jacqueline Fightmaster. For the record, those names are all real. Okay, maybe I elaborate a little bit on James Farding, but it is F-A-R-T, silent H, I-N-G.
Wow.
But, okay, you want to laugh, you get a laugh out of that. But what happened this week, what makes this story really kind of hard to believe, is that he was arrested after breaking into somebody's house and stealing $12,000 in cash that this woman had in her home. And then when the cops found him, he was at a casino, plastered.
Unbelievable.
I mean, and I guess this was not the only time that he's been in trouble. He was charged with wanton endangerment, leaving the scene of a hit and run right after he won that lottery. Then this, and I mean, that Powerball jackpot after taxes that he walked out of there with was $77 million. And he has spent, I read that he has spent half of his life behind bars.
Wow.
So he didn't spend $100 on those lottery tickets. He probably $2 lot. It was a $2 lottery ticket.
Unreal.
Won 167, walked out with 77, stole 12,000, and now he's behind bars.
Unreal.
This'll put it all in perspective. That amount of money that he took from that stranger's house last week, 12 grand, that's the kind of money that generates interest on the 77 mil in 5 hours.
Wow.
Something ain't right with that boy.
Nope.
Something ain't right. You win the lottery, go have a good time, whatever.
Sure.
Stay away from jail. But you know how many stories we've heard through the years
Oh,
of people win the big
Countless.
money, and
it's gone in a year.
it's almost kind of
nuts.
like some of the athletes and
Oh,
people that we've heard that they're broke or bankrupt or on Skid Row. Athletes, some entertainers. I don't know. Though, sometimes it just pays to just call in sick if you got a court date. This next story, you guys may have already seen this, and if you haven't, this is not something we have made up with Tony Jr.'s talents. A lady named Kimberly Carroll made a late appearance on a Zoom court case last week outside of Las Vegas. She was supposed to be in the courtroom. She didn't show up. She was late. So the judge said, well, we're going to move on. I'm going to listen to the plaintiff's side of the story. Well, the court clerk got a notice on her iPhone that it was this Kimberly Carroll on her phone checking in on Zoom. So the judge says, all right, I'll see it. And it just went downhill from there. Check this out.
Is there as me?
You cannot be driving, ma'am. What are you doing? Come on.
I'm not driving. I'm a passenger in a car.
You're still not, I'm not hearing cases with people driving or as passengers in cars.
Okay, I will pull over right
Short of
now.
us coming out to everybody's house and doing these on boats and stuff in the summer, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I have an emergency. I'm going out of town for a family member, but I will have my driver pull over. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to be in a car, but hang on 1 second.
Am I crazy or does it not look like you're driving that car?
I'm not driving the car. I'm a passenger in the car, sir.
What side of the car are you on?
I'm on the left-hand side.
How would you be on the left-hand side if you're a passenger in the front seat? Am I missing something?
Right-hand side. I'm sorry. I've been sitting in a room. I didn't know.
Yeah, the seatbelt's coming off of the driver's side. Right? You're lying to me, right?
No, I'm not, sir.
Let me see the driver. Let me see the driver.
Hang on 1 second.
Now.
I have to ask their permission.
Now.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're not in the you weren't in the driver's side. You think I'm that stupid? I'm going to go ahead and enter a default judgment. Our paperwork says that they can't drive. Does it not, Jennifer?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I took a breath in and started choking. Well, I missed what
Does
you
our
said.
paperwork not tell people that they can't be in a car?
I don't know, Your Honor. I'd have to look at it
The
again. I haven't
paperwork
looked
that
at it
I'm
in a while.
looking at, it does not say that I cannot be in a car.
I'm entering a default judgment. You lied to me. Judgment 1921-85. Send me your counsel and put in there defendant was not available at the time and then was driving a car and telling the court she was not. I'm entering a default judgment.
She wasn't driving,
I'm not
wasn't driving.
driving.
but she was lying.
She just wore a seatbelt to give the appearance that she was driving.
Zoom served a purpose.
Yes, it did.
And it still serves a purpose.
Yes.
But to say that you're driving in a court case, oh, by the way, the judge, you saw, he just did they didn't even have to hear evidence.
No.
And the judgment was for like $1,800. people
How
just.
stupid are people?
And you know what? She didn't realize. I come to find out she didn't realize that she was on video.
I'm not driving.
She thought it was just audio. So,
What'd she think a Zoom call is?
She's just as dumb as heck.
Wow.
You know, and she
Wow.
thought that she was just on the speakerphone. And that's why she was saying, well, I ain't driving.
I'm
I
not
got to ask
driving.
let me check with the driver, get her permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, please. I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to this story. You've ever seen these make me laugh. I don't know, there's just something about farts that make me laugh. But you ever seen on YouTube or any reels, and Tony, you can pull one of these up, about videos of guys, I've seen these, they go into like Costco
Yes.
or a big warehouse and they get the intercom and they put it. You know, well, this happened in the Nashville airport. So a traveler is accused of shouting profanities, not farting, but shouting profanities over the loudspeaker at the Nashville International Airport. I mean, it went over the entire airport. Hey, you mother, and it's like, and it went on and on. You got 38-year-old guy, and he got pissed off because he missed his flight, and then he wouldn't pay the taxi fare and attempted to punch the cab driver, the Uber driver. And so how in the hell he got a hold of an intercom? He must have grabbed it, behind a ticket counter.
I've seen him at Walmart do that,
Yeah.
but I've never
At an airport?
At an airport.
Can you imagine standing there waiting in line at TSA or something?
Yeah.
You mother! I mean, arrested
baby.
and charged with disorderly conduct. I mean, that's pretty
pretty good.
funny.
That's
But-
pretty good.
Yeah, but I think I probably would have liked the fart better if he
Yes.
let's get serious a little bit here. The Missouri General Assembly is passing a bill that grants pregnant women the right to divorce. Did you know that if you're pregnant in the state of Missouri, you could not file for divorce? And it's always been that way.
Never heard that.
I mean, it's a decades-old Missouri law. So this Missouri House bill will allow for that if a woman is pregnant. Now it goes to Mike Kehoe, who's expected to sign it.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Did you know about that
Never.
law? Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Man, a pregnant woman in an abusive relationship and she can't walk away from it,
No.
that's criminal.
Yeah, so
That's bad stuff.
somebody finally, after all these decades,
Good.
has introduced this law, and I would think soon that will get signed into law, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason to avoid California at all costs. But there are gas stations now in California that are selling gallon of gas for $9.99. $10 a gallon. In fact, this one particular gas station that the owner says, he said, actually, for what it's costing us, I would have made it higher. He said, but my gas pumps, the digital numbers are only 3 positions. So he said, the highest position I could go was to $9.99. Wow. Why in that? I mean,
I don't get it.
is that not reason enough to just sell your house and get the hell out of there?
I know.
I mean,
I know. Crazy.
I can't even imagine. I mean, and I know. I mean, I've got friends in Chicago. My close friend Mike in Chicago. And they're always talking. I mean, their gas. When he asked me, tell him what's gas, and when before the Iran war, it's $2.29.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
He said,
it.
"What?" I said, "Yeah, $2.29." I go, "What is in Chicago?" That's $4.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, but $9.99 a gallon. I would think some kind of usury law or something would prevent something like that.
I would too. Yeah.
I mean, but that's a good enough reason, right?
Yes.
All right, so we have a special guest coming up. We've been looking forward to speaking to this man for a long time, and he's a very close friend of yours, and I've known him for a long time too. And he's a former Royal. Everybody in town, there's a Royals fan, especially from the glory days of the Royals will know all about Jim Eisenreich.
Folks, we're going to have some fun today. I'm going to be talking about, to me, the greatest story that's never really been told. When I think of Jim Eisenreich, I don't think of a guy that appeared in 2 World Series, was a World Series champion, was the Kansas City Royals Player of the Year. His accomplishments on the field are phenomenal. Calling Jim my friend is just one of the great joys of my life. But what this man has accomplished off the field is even more special. Going to talk about that in just a second. Welcome, Jim. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? I can call him a friend, too, because we've known each other for a while. So, Jimmy, it's great to see you here.
Thank you, Tony. Good to see you, too.
Yeah, and coming in here. But let's, why don't we start with the on-field stuff?
Absolutely, yes.
You debuted with the Twins. I mean, you're from Minnesota, right?
That's correct, yes.
And so you got to play for kind of the hometown
My
team.
hometown team, exactly.
And you came up in '82 and spent how many years with the Twins?
Well, basically, my first 2 minor league years were 80 and 81. And then the Metrodome opened in 82, so I was with the Twins 82, part of 83 and part of 84. And I say part because I didn't play the whole years, but so basically the parts of 5 years.
What I couldn't believe is that the Royals acquired you off waivers for the whopping total of $1.
Yeah.
How the hell did they get away with that?
It was a bargain.
A bargain, I think
Isn't
so.
the waiver price now like $20,000 at least? I mean, no, it's still chump change for them, but $1? You've got to be the biggest bargain of all time, man.
It was a long time ago.
I know, but still, can you believe that?
No,
$1.
no.
So you came to the Royals. That was what, 87? 87. And you'd been in. Didn't you spend like several months or a few months in Omaha, right? Did you go to
Memphis, actually.
In Memphis,
in
the Double A team.
Correct.
Yeah, the Double A team in Memphis, and you were. I remember because you were tearing it up. Then you were hitting about close to 400, and they brought you up, and then your tenure here with the Royals. I mean, it still gives me goosebumps because you were just a fan favorite, and you were a guy that would never do this. You wouldn't. We were talking about this, and over the weekend we saw 2 of the big stars of the Royals with runners on base taking strike 3 calls in the middle. In critical situations, you were just Mr. Contact. You were always hitting the ball.
I didn't like strike out. That wasn't part of the deal.
That wasn't part of the deal.
No.
Jim, but your time here with the Royals, you were the guy that did all the stuff that helped them win but never got the attention. And I was so excited going to the 1989 Baseball Writers postseason awards show, and you won the Player of the Year for the Royals. Just how special was that?
Well, it was special, and of course I had to get the award and had a talk in front of 500, 1,000 people.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of people.
It was interesting, but I make a joke about it because they got tired of giving Bo all the awards. So they needed and Bo was my friend, so very much an honor though. It was a lot of fun.
Well, it didn't stop there because in
that was the beginning.
Well, in 1990 you hit 280, 285, you hit 391, and 92 you had a good year. And so for you, after all the challenges that you faced, what was it that when you realized, man, I got this? Was it that Player of the Year award? Was it when you were tearing it up in Omaha or in Memphis? What was it that got you to say, hey, wait, I got this, and I know I can stay?
I don't know if I ever said that.
Really?
And I think when I came back after missing a couple years,
Yeah.
my whole idea was that if I get a chance and I take it and I don't make it, I'm good. I tried. If I get the chance and I don't take the chance, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but if I did take the chance and I made it, and which is what happened.
Yeah.
And I always make another joke, but 12 years I had on top of that, and it's like that doesn't happen. So it was gravy. So I didn't feel like there was any. I never took it for granted that tomorrow was going to be. I was going to be a big leaguer.
Yeah.
I just try to play each day like it was my last.
What was it like walking into that Royals locker room the first time? Was there anyone who really went out of their way to welcome you? Did the entire team do it, following everything that went on with the Twins?
No, but it's a big part of the story too. Is when I walked into Fort Myers, we were in Fort Myers for spring training. Our buddy Frank White was the first one, and he really didn't know me other than being an opponent. I didn't really know him other than he was a Royal, like the other guys. But he just come up and said, "Hey Jim, I'm Frank White. Welcome to the Royals." And then didn't mean anything, but after that. He was always, on the road, would be having coffee in the morning, breakfast. Jim,
That doesn't surprise me at all. Another great guy.
And he's still a good friend.
Yeah.
He always calls me when he was the Jackson County executive, he was calling me for the golf tournament. And, we could never win, but we got to play, So.
Yeah, we had a chance to. We actually spoke to Frank. He was on with us. We were the first media outlet to talk to him after he stepped down, and he really exhaled with us. I mean, we had a great conversation with Frank, and so we're not surprised. We're not surprised that's with Frank. After your tenure with the Royals, were you disappointed you were moving on? Or were you just looking for, hey, this is my next chapter? Because you had all the success here. I mean, it wasn't like up and down, up and down. You had you had nothing but success here. Fans loved you, team loved you, but you moved on to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and so to answer your first part of the question, I was a little disappointed. I'd been newly married, and we had a daughter.
Yeah.
And I was, I'm a Midwest guy, I was already 34 years old, which as a backup player, they can get a lot of 18, 20-year-olds or whatever for minimum, and I wasn't, a star. And so I was a little disappointed, but I knew that was part of the game. And so when the free agent stuff comes and, there was talk, well, actually we traded, I think it was Brett Saberhagen and someone to the Mets for...
Yeah, the left fielder,
Kevin McReynolds.
Jeffries.
Greg Jeffries?
Yeah.
And then second baseman, I forget now.
Keith Miller.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so actually we had Chris Quinn also then.
Oh, that's right.
And so.
Quinn's brother.
Yeah. Yep. And so that was, the writing was on the wall. Yeah. And so then I'm a free agent and, like I said, 34 years old, That's kind of old. And I had two offers as a free agent. One was the Phillies, which was a major league offer, and then the Braves, who now John Schultz was now their general manager.
Okay.
And it was an offer to come to spring training, but it was a split type of deal. And if the Braves then were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and your tenure in Philly was really good. I mean, in '93, you had one of your best seasons. You hit what, 320, 315, something like that?
Arguably, probably my best year. I had 95 and 96 average-wise were a little better, but we were on a World Series team.
Yes.
It's like a little New York, and Midwestern guy going to Philly.
Yeah.
I love the place.
How was
it? Was unbelievable.
They were.
They still are.
Yeah. Well, I saw. Was in Philly a couple of years ago and watched 2 or 3 games out there, and it was a great place. It was a great place.
The reputation of the fans is a little bit deceiving, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. They're pretty good.
You didn't throw snowballs at you like they did Santa Claus.
Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. But they're very knowledgeable fans. But I love them, and they rolled out the red carpet for me whenever I'd come back.
That's neat.
In '93, in Game 2. I hit a home run in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, in Game 2. We win the game. Now, our bullpen is in right field. The bullpen coach got the home run ball, because I always make a joke, but it scraped the back of the wall in between that and the bleachers. So I was in the bullpen. So he got the ball. I had it in the dugout by the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Okay. So then fast forward 4 years with the Marlins, we're in Cleveland, and it's game 3. I'm the DH. I hit a home run. It's in right field. After back to the Philly game, after that game, doing the press conference, 5 minutes about the home run and an hour about Tourette.
Ugh.
So then the same thing happens in Cleveland 4 years later. 5 minutes about the home run,
Really?
an hour about Tourette. And so what I found out afterward is there were 2 guys that drove down from Toronto they got scalp tickets, they caught the ball. They were not Marlin fans or Cleveland Indian fans. So, when you're in the opposing team's field, you got to throw the ball back on the field because that ball's no good, right? Yeah. Well, it's a World Series ball, and they're not fans of either. They're going to keep it.
So they're keeping it.
And they said they had to leave in the 8th inning because they were going to get in a fight. Wow. So they're driving back home to Toronto. It's like a 4-hour drive from Cleveland to Toronto. Yeah. And I'm doing a press conference, and they hear me talking about Tourette. And the one guy goes, "Do you think that's what my daughter has?"
Oh, are you kidding me? God.
So this is 97, so a year and a half later, I get invited to the Canadian National Tourette Conference in Toronto. And we heard kind of a rumor that someone was going to give me my home run ball. Because I'm thinking Toronto.
Yeah.
But I had my Toronto ball because it was
Yeah.
And then we got there and had my secretary with me, and I said, "I'm going to go to the bathroom. Can you. So she started asking and told that story. They had driven down.
Golly.
That's like,
Jeez.
so then I had both balls. They wanted to give me the ball. That was the whole deal. So
Well. 98, you were part of one of the craziest trades ever. You were part of that Bobby Bonilla, Gary Sheffield, on and on. Wasn't that a 3-way trade? The Piazza was involved in that. I mean,
well, it started off as a 2-way trade.
Started off with the Dodgers
and the Marlins.
And the Marlins,
Yep.
yeah.
So that was kind of a unique thing, too.
That was really crazy.
If you remember, after the World Series in 97, our owner, Wayne Huizinga, started to get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
And then put the team up for sale, which
that's right.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys were traded during the offseason, and then some of us weren't. So we start the season, and Jim Leland's our manager, and he says, now, something's going to happen, Well, Gary Sheffield kind of held the key to the whole trading thing because he had a no-trade clause. And so it was about 2 weeks before this happened, he said, he got Bobby Bonilla and Charles Johnson and 4 of us together, and he said, I don't know exactly what's happening, but it could be big. And so I want to know what you think I should do because I have a no-trade clause, in my clause in my contract. If I say no, I am going to look like the biggest egotistical, money-hungry. And they said, Gary, you got to do what you got to do. That's what we all said.
Yeah.
But, 2 weeks later, we're in St. Louis, and none of us were in the lineup,
So you knew something was happening.
I always had family over from Kansas City, and so Saturday night, May 16th, not that I remember exactly. But after midnight, Jim Leland, he said, just hang close to the phone. About 5 after midnight, he called me. He's bawling. Said, Isaac, you got to come back and do a press conference. We traded to the Dodgers. So that was, we were traded. And funny thing there is the traveling secretary for the Phillies, he hands me 3 tickets, airline tickets, Bobby Bonilla and Charles Johnson. Saying, can you make sure these guys get to the airport with you tomorrow? Now, Gary Sheffield was already out in L.A.
Yeah.
We did it, it just happened, so.
Wow. Well, let's backtrack, though. That 97 season with the Marlins, that was no snoozer, man. You guys won the World Series, and you were on base when Renteria got that base hit.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Kind of the dream, the culmination of being a ball player. Yeah. You win the World Series. That's holy cow.
I guess the only thing could have been better if you were on third base instead of second. But
if you back up to the bottom of the 9th inning, when I pinch hit with 2 outs,
and
a tie game, My mind is like,
Oh, my God.
You know, I
bet-
don't hit home runs, but you know what? Why wouldn't this,
You
this
were
would be a nice
thinking,
place
man.
to do it?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, you know, and seventh game of the World Series, 11th inning. I mean, what's going through your mind when you're standing there and seeing your teammate at third and like, you know, we're just this close to winning it all?
You know, I was on second. Craig Counsell's on third. You know, and all I knew is if he gets a base hit, I've got to touch third base.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you know, it's 2 outs, right?
Yeah.
So I had to touch third base, and that's all I'm thinking. You know, base hit the center, and that's it. Then it was kind of crazy. And Gloria Estefan was playing music for like an hour.
Wow.
It was
remember-
craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and all that craziness, and then Wayne Huizenga says, all right, we did it. We won a World Series, selling the team, getting rid of all these dudes. I mean, that was,
For the shrewd businessman he was,
Yeah.
that was not a good move.
Yeah.
Why do you
I
sell
know.
the team after you get rid of it?
I know.
Well, oh well.
I don't know.
You know, when you look back at your career, I've had the opportunity to visit with so many professional, collegiate, and high school athletes over the years. Is there any game, any moment? I'm sure bottom of the 11th in the 7th game of the World Series would be there, or is it just a collective feeling of the camaraderie, the bus trips, being in the locker room with guys?
You know, it's all of it. It's just, you know, we complain about traveling and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but we get the best travel. You know, we come into the hotel at 3:00 in the morning off a bus, you know, from the airport, and they hand us our room keys, you know, and just go up to the room, you know, and it sometimes is rough for some guys, but it's part of the deal. It's, you know, so it's just, I had some great teammates. Every team I was on, the coaches, the managers, you know, they just, I was very blessed to be able to play Major League Baseball for, you know, not just part of a year, but a lot of years, and get to win, you know, win the ultimate trophy.
Yeah.
Craziness.
And you have something in common that, well, we've had Brian McRae, we've had Frank, we've had Duke. You guys, well, of course, Frank kind of grew up here, but you guys all stayed in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Midwestern guy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a mover.
Me neither.
My kids, you know, we're all born and raised here. And when I went to Florida, you know, then I had my first son too, and they were little, but they'd come back. My daughter wanted to graduate with her kindergarten class. So they'd come to spring training on spring break, and then I was kind of lucky that way though, because they were little when I was done playing. Now for them, like my daughter, who was a softball player, as you know,
Oh, yes.
she wishes I would have been younger and still playing. Because all she remembers about the World Series was she was in the kids' playroom with the other kids.
Lauren's quite a player. State champion at Blue Springs High School. And
She was a good player. Yeah,
now a coach.
yeah.
With Anna Cole and
And
you
a
know,
9-year-old team that she asked me to help.
Oh, you're kidding!
Oh yeah, we did last year too. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's I bet
How'd
it.
you like to have Jim Eisenreich be your
Yeah.
little league?
Yeah. You know, with Lauren and you, do you see some of these kids, and does that bring back memories of when Lauren was playing at that age?
It does, but I'm trying to remember that when she was that little.
Yeah.
I don't. It's.
Yeah. Now, is Tyler still following his dream out in New York?
He's in Wicked. Yep, he's in the ensemble of Wicked. He's been there for a year and a half now.
Because he was going to be in. Oh, it was a big review that was coming back, and COVID canceled it.
Yeah, the revival of West Side Story.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I had him on my radio show and did several feature stories with him. He's in Wicked.
Yeah.
Good for him. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes. Yeah, we were there last June.
Were you?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
That's great. I wanted to ask you what we've asked all the other former Royals, and we've gotten some really interesting answers about today's game and today's players. What is your impression of? Let's talk about like rule changes to speed the game up, metrics, WAR and all this other stuff, launch angles and spin rates and all these different things. I mean, you guys basically played on fundamentals and contact.
Okay, so my answer would be, you know how old I am, right? When I first started, we didn't need speed up rules because typically pitchers got the ball and they threw it.
Yeah.
You had occasionally have a guy that would, didn't know what to do. He'd look
Yeah.
at the ball and but I don't mind the pitch clock right now. At first when I thought that's going to be difficult for some guys, but for the most part they've done okay. I don't even notice that the bases were bigger.
I forget about that every.
That didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to increase stolen bases. That made no sense. The instant replay or the
the reviews.
the reviews. In my day, if I was safe still in second base, but it looked like I was out, the umpire looks at me and says, Jim, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out. I don't care if he didn't tag you.
Yeah.
You're out.
I'm kind of glad we didn't have because we might not have won the '85 World Series with a
amen.
review. But that's
Good. Well,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. What about the metrics and all that stuff, and which now plays such a big part in MLB?
I think some guys can use it. I had a teammate, Kurt Schilling,
Oh yeah.
pitcher for the Phillies
great,
and all,
yeah.
and really good. He was an analytic crazy person.
Really?
So in '93, we didn't have all iPads and all that kind of stuff. He had a little notebook. So days he wasn't pitching, he wrote notes in his thing. I'd never seen anybody do that.
Really?
And then here, if you look at his whole career, power pitcher,
Yeah.
a lot of strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. That's kind of unusual.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
And so I think some guys can use all that stuff, but for the most part, we had all that stuff. We just didn't have it readily available in the dugout, like right before we're gonna go bat.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's too much stuff. And so that part of it, the launch angle and that, what does that mean? I had a lot of balls off the handle that blooped over the third baseman's head. It's a double.
And so
And the launch angle didn't matter, and what do you call the speed? About 32.
Velocity.
Exit velocity.
Yeah, about 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about all the years that you hit. I mean, this was what blew me away. I knew you had a high lifetime average, but your lifetime batting average is 290. That's, guys now, I heard that the average major league batting average now is a 247.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, did anybody make the roster with an average of batting average of 2?
Not unless he was a shortstop and could catch everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the only one that could.
So
Maybe a catcher.
This is where metrics has taken us, because BMAC said, well, we were always taught to hit line drives or hit the ball on the ground. And now it's all about launch angle.
Yeah, and they say they don't like to. They don't care about the strikeouts, and that doesn't make any sense to me because.
Talk to Whitey Herzog about that.
Oh, I know.
How do you move a runner over
Well,
if you're striking out?
well, apparently you're not supposed to. You're supposed to hit a home run, and they all move, and you score. You
exactly.
score yourself.
Exactly.
So I always thought though, if you got a pitcher that is kind of owns you, wearing you out, you got to make him uncomfortable.
Exactly.
So you bunt a ball, make him field the ball. So if you're out, hit the ball the other way, take pitches. I mean, George, I've talked to George about this quite often, and he says if they'd have put the shift on for him, he'd have bunted the ball down the third base line every time. He said they're going to give it to me, I'm taking it, and that's how we all would have done it. But now I don't get it. So my question is, are they trying to win? That goes to a lot of teams. Are they really trying to win a game? Wow. Especially when you have guys that maybe hit 10 home runs a year. You're not, you got 2 or 3 guys that are your home run hitters every year.
Right.
They're guaranteed. Yeah. But the rest of us, we need to get on base.
Yeah. I was just going to say,
get on base.
Your job was to get on base. Whether it be an infield hit, a ball off the handle, or a line drive.
Make the other team's pitcher uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For you, the baseball side was always professional, successful, did so many great things. The mental side of the sport. How, for young folks who are out here listening, for parents who are listening, can you talk a little bit about the early stages of when you were finally diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome and how that changed your life?
Well, first of all, on a baseball field, no matter if you're 35 and a 10-year big leaguer or if you're 5 and just playing t-ball, the game's supposed to be fun.
Yes.
You know, that's where it starts. And so with me, that's how it always was. And I played hockey and whatever sport was in season. We played them all. I have a sports family. My dad was crazy. Baseball was his favorite. And so, but as a kid, you know, we can't play all the time. So I'm in school, and when the symptoms developed of Tourette, even though I had no clue what it was,
Right.
I go to a Catholic grade school, and nuns for teachers, you know, and I'm scared to death, not because of my schoolwork or that, because I'm interrupting the class.
Yeah.
I didn't know why, and so. When I would go out on the playground, and one of the nuns actually brought her glove to school and played catch with me, and she could play.
Wow.
Third grade, I never forget that. But that was my relief. Whenever I played sports, you know, I was always moving, so I guess I'm kind of hiding the tics I had.
Yeah.
And so, even with that, my parents they took me to all the doctors, you know, possible. And growing up in Minnesota, we had the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and our family doctor just said, well, you can go if you want. I don't think they'll tell you anything different than I would, you know, which in those years, at the 60s,
Sure.
Yeah.
that was taken for gospel.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays you run to 3 different ones right now.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, so that's how I approached it. And, you know, college was very similar. I had schoolwork to do. You know, that was a big deal. And I was always a decent student. I wasn't the greatest. I think the Tourette interrupted my ability to stay focused on and sitting.
Sure.
I didn't sit well. I still don't. I like to move. But then I get drafted, and, you know, I'm still playing ball, and, you know, of course, I still have the tics.
Yes.
And then eventually, when the series in Boston was the one that kind of made it a big deal.
Right.
And I came out of the first game in the 6th inning, because by then I started to think, and this is where your question about the mental side of it.
Yes.
It never bothered me about playing. You know, if a ball came up, I was going to catch it. Mm-hmm. If I dropped it, well, yeah, I'm going to be embarrassed, but it didn't bother me that much. What bothered me all of a sudden was that, are they watching me play ball, or are they watching me do all my stuff? Huh. And after that first game, too, the reporters kind of got a little bit inaccurate about it. They thought the fans were hollering at me, but, you know, it's Boston.
Yeah,
they're supposed to holler at you.
Sure.
But there's so many of them, it's noise. Yes. And I was so into trying to stop my own thing, I couldn't really hear, you know. So, and it's fine if they did holler. They're supposed to. Sure. That's what fans do. But anyway, you know, after that series was over, went to Milwaukee and couldn't get out of the clubhouse. I had no idea what was going on. The doctor's calling and saying, do this and this. And anyway, long story short, got to the hospital in Minneapolis and spent a couple of weeks there trying to figure things out. Eventually, I heard a doctor tell me that he wrote this book about this, and it's called Tourette syndrome. Wow. And so, and I had no idea what that was.
You still didn't know?
No. So, and the funny thing, the doctor is of Middle Eastern descent, so he didn't have the greatest English. And I made a joke of, I think he said tourist syndrome. I tell people, they laugh. It's like, okay. So, but you know what? After doing the research on what it was, okay, this is a real thing. I'm now not the only one, and there's help.
Yes.
And I didn't know what that looked like, but I thought, okay, maybe that's why I got to the big leagues. You know, I'm a big leaguer, and I was going to get this thing figured out eventually. And by that time, I didn't really care about playing ball. I loved it, but I wanted my health more than anything. Yeah. And so, you know, missed the better part of 4 years.
I know.
So,
how special is it now because of your name? You can stand on a soapbox. People will listen to you, especially through the work with your foundation for youngsters.
Yeah, and I just, it was my thing to do. I was put there
good.
for a reason, and I've had, and I guess when I came to Kansas City, the local Tourette chapter got connected, and we started meeting with families at the stadium, and then it turned into a group, and it turned into a group off of the field, and when I went to Philly, they continued it, and I started to go to schools and talk about it, and I then realized that, okay, this is a blessing that I have this for a reason. I can help
Yes.
families that are dealing with the same questions that my parents had. And now they know they have a name for it, but I can tell them my story. Of course, I'm wearing a uniform, and I talk to them for half an hour, and then I go down and play. And so, like I said, we did it in Philly. I got to go to national conferences, and what was really neat was whenever I was with a group of the kids, now I'm an adult, and they would have all kinds of texts and things and said, I used to do that. I used to do, And what was funny, the parents would they could see me interacting with the kids, and the kids like, okay, it's okay, which I didn't know it was okay. I didn't like it. I still don't like it, but, it was okay. And so that was a big deal. We started the foundation with the idea that when I'm done playing, families are going to still have issues and questions. And so what's been really cool, though, it's been 40 years. It's been a long time since, and so it's second generation families now. Wow. I was in Philly about a month ago doing an autograph thing, and it's a big show, Philly show, it's huge. And I had a person come up to me, and he pulls out a piece of paper, and it says, Jim, you wrote this letter to me back in 1989 or whatever, which is what I did. I'd get mail, and on the road, I'd write letters and respond to them. He said, and all I ever wanted to do was have a family, like you did, like you do, and I was wondering if I could, and well, I'm here to tell you that it happened because of this letter. Here's my wife and my daughter. Oh. It's like, holy cow! Wow, there were three people. Another kid came up wearing a Marlins jersey. It's in Philly. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm a Marlins fan, and I watched you play, and and I have Tourette, and you wrote me the letter too. It's like,
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So that happens, and this is second generation. So, they're now having their kids, and it's like, wow, okay.
You're absolutely right, Jim.
That's what it's about.
God puts us here for a reason.
Absolutely.
And, for you, it was, you made so many hundreds of thousands of people happy with your play on the field, and now you're into multiple generations off the field.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's why I say, you look at the baseball accomplishments, they pale into what this gentleman has done off the field and for families who have an individual with Tourette's.
Your tenure with the Royals, it's inspirational chapter of demonstrating your determination and adaptability and your ability to hit a baseball with success. And, we love you for all of that stuff. We're glad you stayed in Kansas City. We're glad that people can watch you still here with us and that you're our friend. Jim Eisenreich, thank you so much, brother, for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Jim Eisenreich.
Nobody better.
We say it every week. Boy, B-Mac was great. Boy, Duke. Oh, Frank.
I know.
I like what we're doing with bringing these guys back.
I do too.
And Jim Eisenreich's story, if that doesn't make you feel good about living and good about life, he was a fan favorite here. But boy, he is just a treasure for what he's done with his life. I dare any of us to go through what he went through and do it with such grace.
I know.
And now be able to talk about it, because I'm not going to lie to you, Bill. I didn't want to bring it up, or I didn't know whether he'd be uncomfortable with talking about Tourette's, but you graciously went into it about talking about his foundation, and he just picked up and ran with it and was proud of it. And you know what?
good.
We're extremely proud of him. So thank you to Jim Eisenreich. We'll be back again with another edition next week. But I also want to remind you, all of our full podcast episodes, you can find them on YouTube and Spotify real easy. You can hook up with us and check out Reels on TikTok and Facebook. And we'll be back with another episode of Bill and Tony's Excellent Adventure next week. That's Bill Althouse. I'm Tony Stevens. Y'all take care.
We'll see you.